Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us for tonight's virtual Backpacks to Briefcases. We're here for you, personalized graduate degrees and professional development. I'm Greg Berry, Assistant Director in the UAB Office of Alumni Affairs. Just a quick disclaimer, since this is a virtual discussion, please don't be surprised if you hear or see things that seem out of place. Also, in order to be mindful of our guests, I would like to ask everybody to remain muted during the presentation. We will have a chat box available, so make sure you fill that with your questions. Today, we'll be taking a look at UAB's new Interdisciplinary Graduate Studies program and how you fit in. We have a tremendous panel from the UAB Graduate School. Unfortunately, Dr. Lori McMahon, Dean of the UAB Graduate School, was unable to be with us tonight, but we have 4 other great guests. First, Dr. Lisa Schwiebert, Senior Associate Dean for Graduate and Postdoctoral Affairs. We also welcome Dr. Lisa Kerr, Director of UAB's Interdisciplinary Graduate Studies degree program. Also, Dr. Sarah Creel, Director of Graduate Certificate in Research Communications. Last but not least, Jessie Keppley, Director of Student and Academic Services. Welcome to them all. Now, before we turn things over to the panel for introductory remarks, I'm going to launch a poll. It has 2 questions for you to answer, and you should see it right about now. We want to know where you are in your graduate school studies. Have you already begun? Are you going to be going back this fall or spring? You're not sure, or maybe you're just curious. We also want to know what you're interested in: earning an IGS degree, completing a certificate, taking a course or 2 for professional development. We will go ahead and keep that poll up just for a few moments so you can submit your answers. After today's presentation, we will have time to answer your questions, so be sure once again to submit them through the chat box. Let's go ahead and end that polling, and we will show you the results. So we're kind of all over the place with this. Some of you are just curious to see what we have to offer tonight, and same with completing a certificate and earning an IGS degree. So at this point, I'm going to invite Dr. Kerr for the introduction and get right into the presentation.
Great, thanks, Greg. I really appreciate that. Want to thank you all for joining us this evening, and really intend to answer your questions. That's what we're here for. But before we get going, I wanted to thank Greg and Mac and the UAB National Alumni Society for allowing us the opportunity to host and to reach out to all of you. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get going. So Mac, next slide, please. Okay, so as we consider, just want to kind of go through, let me count the ways. How is the story of life similar to your story of your career? So I'm sure we're all pretty familiar with the concept or the great phrase that came from Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, right? So just interaction time in the chat. Go ahead and describe how you think the story of life, like the box of chocolates, how is that box of chocolates similar to your story of your career? Don't be shy. Just so you all know, I teach a lot of courses and I'm really okay with silence. So we're gonna hang here until a couple of, there we go, participate. I'm cool with that. Right. Things change from time to time. In my car. Not sure at this time. Okay. So go ahead, Mac, if you want to kind of flip through there. Yeah. So sometimes it's not what you expect, right? Is very different from what you actually get. what you prepare for and what you get may be different things. There are a lot of different flavors, and I think a couple of you alluded to that. There's a variety of things that we end up doing in our careers that we may not necessarily have expected. And I added in there one piece at a time, and that's because one of the things that we really want to share with you this evening is that we want you to understand that earning a degree, working towards a certificate, and continuing your professional development, it doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing. There are some very traditional ways that we think of as a graduate student going back full time, and we really want to help encourage the recognition that one step at a time is definitely appropriate, and we're here for you as students who may be interested in taking a more non-traditional approach to that. So we can go to the next slide, Mac. So careers today are hybrid, and there's this proverbial wearing lots of hat pieces, right? And then Mac, if you'll hit next slide one more time. In life today is full of a lot of different options. And so again, we want to recognize that your circumstances and your situation are you. It's your life, it's your journey. So just like that box of chocolates is never ending, some things are really, really sweet and some of it's a little dark. We really want you to recognize that we're here to support you in all of the different things that you're working towards. So next slide, please. So our purposes for tonight are to introduce the Interdisciplinary Graduate Studies program, which is a brand new degree program that got to smile really big. I'm super excited about it. So we hope you are too. We will go over some of the professional development program certificates that we have available, answer any questions that you have, and then at the end, we are going to ask you for your interests so that we can make sure that if there are additional courses or certificates that you may be interested in, we'll gather that information from you as well. So next slide. All right, so here we go into the Masters of Arts and Masters of Science in Interdisciplinary Graduate Studies. I do want to point out that there are both options of earning a Masters of Arts as well as a Masters of Science, depending on the certificates that you choose. So next slide, please. So this program is designed to provide you with advanced education opportunities by combining 2 or more specializations. This goes back to that our jobs are hybrid, we wear many, many hats. So traditional degrees focus very deeply within one area, typically. This is going to allow the learner in today's society to better meet the demands of their hybrid jobs. This is also designed to provide non-traditional graduate students with an entree into graduate studies. And then honestly, UAB is committed to our community of Birmingham and the state overall. So this was designed with workforce development in mind. So know that that's also an added benefit of why we're really excited to introduce this IGS program. So the meat of it, right? In order for you to earn a Master's of Science or Master's of Arts in Interdisciplinary Graduate Studies, the learner must complete 2 graduate certificates. They have to be 12 credit hours minimum. There's a list of which certificates are affiliated with the program listed on the website. In addition to those 2 certificates, you have to complete GRD 690, which is a capstone course. That capstone course is required to be completed in the last semester that you are taking classes towards this degree, so it cannot be completed until all of your other coursework has been completed, or if it's in your last semester of enrollment. And you have to have a minimum of 30 credit hours with a B or better, so these courses need to be graded, and all of that needs to be completed within 5 years. So yes, there's the 5-year limit, but that tends to be adequate time for individuals to get through this process, especially if they're going part-time. So next slide, please. We've received a lot of questions as to what that capstone is. So before that may concern you and have you running for the door, the capstone course is designed to help the practitioner, the professional practitioner, best learn how to utilize research and theory and apply that into your practice. This Interdisciplinary Graduate Studies degree plan is designed for professional practitioners. So you will learn in this course how to complete a comprehensive literature review and how to transpose that into an action plan meaningful for you in your career of choice. You will be expected to publicly disseminate this information, whether it's a poster presentation, an opportunity to do a presentation via Zoom or in person. We will work with you. If you're a fully online student, we will find a way for that to happen. But we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to share what you've learned in this class. So you will be expected to do that. And then really, we will be there with you side by side to help support you as you organize and gain leadership within your field of study or within your career. So that's what the capstone course is really designed to do. So next slide, please. So how to apply. Go to UAB Graduate School, click on the Apply Now button, and you will see that there is an option for you to apply to either the MS or the MA, that should say, or MA, IGS program. In that application, you will choose from a drop-down menu of what 2 certificates that have been affiliated with the degree that you would like to complete. Once you choose those, we will then do the process of getting that information out to the certificates. Each of your certificate directors will decide on your admissions. If you meet the admissions criteria, it comes back to the Graduate School Central Admissions. I will review those applications and you will be admitted if you are admitted into both of the certificates. At that point in time, then we'll meet to be able to talk about your specific plan and where you want to go with that. So here are a couple example plans. So if a learner is seeking to advance education in their position for nonprofit community health, take the nonprofit certificate, take the public health certificate, and there you are combining 2 certificates for your specific purposes. We have a lot of students at UAB and in the local area who are seeking advancement within laboratories and also wanting to be able to disseminate that information. So you have the opportunity to combine the graduate certificate in science communications that Sarah will talk about a little later with the certificate with lab management that Lisa will talk about a little bit later in more detail if you're interested. And then another example, we are really excited, actually, you all are the first public folks to hear about this, but we're working with the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion on developing a new route and concentration in ODEI and advocacy as well for within the leadership lead certificate. So if that's something that you're interested in, you could combine that with a social media, and then therefore move forward with your platform on advocacy and social media. These are just 3 examples. The opportunities there are endless for you. And so once we know a little bit more about what you need and what you want, UAB is prepped and we're ready to start really working to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the economy locally as well as statewide, and your needs for you and your career advancement. So if you want more information, you can send me an email. I'm happy to follow up personally, individually with each of you. If you want more information after this presentation today, you can send an email to intergradstudies@uab.edu. And right now, I will stay up until the wee hours of the morning answering you because it's exciting and it gives me lots and lots of energy. So, Matt, do you want to go ahead and hit the next one? We also wanted to take moments to remind you that if you're not sure if you're ready for a full-on degree, UAB offers a number of professional development opportunities through the PDP. There is the Mentoring and Leadership Certificate that is run through that office, Research Communications, Research Laboratory Management, CERTL, which is the Center for the Integration of Research, Teaching, and Learning. So if you're interested in learning how to better teach within a field, and then LEAD, which is the Leadership and Professional Development Certificate. These are just a few examples, and these are all designed to help you garner skills in communications, your teaching preparedness, lab management skills, really designed to give you a competitive advantage and transferable skills into whatever area you are working in, wherever you want your career to go. Just really opening the doors for you. So I'm going to pause and make sure that we answer your questions. And then once we have worked through those, we will go back to the certificate programs and provide you a little more information on each of those. I'm going to pause now and see what questions you have.
And please post your questions in the chat box and we will get those questions asked. So I do have one. When you went through the one slide with the 3 different scenarios, does combining the certificates in the IGS program have to make sense? Or is it up to the individual because it's for their profession?
It needs to make sense to the learner. It doesn't have to be something that we've already determined, and that's especially why right now, like I really want to know what is it that the local economy needs. We're not mind readers. We hang out and listen to a lot of people, but it helps us to know. What is required is the learner will need to meet with me, and so that we can discuss and make sure that the courses that they're seeking within their certificate program are going to be offered in a logical way that's going to allow them to complete the degree. We don't want to guide anyone down a road that they're not going to be able to complete. So they will need to meet with us in the process to develop a specific order of classes that they think they're interested in, just so we can make sure we can meet that need.
And please, if you do have any questions, go ahead, drop them in the chat box. It's a silent group tonight, and maybe they will be more likely to come on and give us some more questions as we progress. So let's go ahead and go through. Dr. Kerr, you want to talk a little bit more about other aspects as well?
Yeah, so if we want to go ahead and move forward to some of those certificate slides. And I'm going to encourage folks, as you have questions, even if they're not necessarily related to what we're talking about at the moment, please put them in the chat, because we would really like to be able to gather your perspective. But I'm going to kick it off to Sarah now and let her take the floor. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Creel, and I'm the lead academic writing instructor in the Professional Development Department, if you weren't here when we were introduced. Welcome to everybody. Thank you for coming, and thank you to the National Alumni Society for having us. We really appreciate it. So as the academic writing instructor in the PDP, I direct our Research Communication Certificate, which is an A-level certificate and requires 15 hours of study. So you can take these 15 hours at will, whenever you like. You can do a 1-hour course one semester and a 3-hour course the next. It's up to you. The certificate is geared mainly toward helping students gain the skills they need to communicate, both in person and in writing, to a lay audience. Obviously, we're all well aware of the importance of science communication right now, as we are currently in a global pandemic. Of course, it's been important before now, but it's especially important when we all need to understand what's happening in our current world with this virus. You can take classes in writing and presentation skills, writing for a broad audience. You can take classes in writing a journal article in 12 weeks if you are more on the academic side of things, presenting effectively. Dr. Schwiebert teaches our Grants and Fellowships 101, and she's fantastic at it. And we also have a final research communication practicum, which is a one-on-one with me, in which we build a portfolio of your assignments. Your speaking assignments, your writing assignments, and we kind of tailor it to however you want to do that. So we work you through several different assignments so that you come out of the certificate having a clear perception of what you can offer the world in terms of your writing and speaking capabilities. We also, the really interesting part of research communications is that you can take elective classes. So if you want to take a class in something, say, like technical writing or business writing, we also offer electives within the departments of English, Business Administration, and Communication. So you can customize your certificate to fit your needs, which is a really fantastic aspect of this certificate. Like I said, it's geared mostly towards writing and speaking, two important aspects for any professional development. And if you have any questions about any of these courses or any aspect of their certificate, which you can also use towards the interdisciplinary masters, I'd be happy to answer those. I'll kick it off to Lisa Schwiebert.
Sure. Thank you, Sarah. My name is Lisa Schwiebert, a longtime faculty member here at UAB in the School of Medicine, and a senior associate dean in the graduate school. And for the last 10 years or so, have offered a course in research lab management that last fall I expanded into a full certificate program that was approved and kicked off officially in January of this year. This particular certificate includes courses that focus on budgetary management, certainly regulatory and compliance, research lab safety, and of course leadership and mentoring, which go hand in hand with all of the facets of running a successful lab. And really this certificate is designed for faculty, staff, including those who are maybe on the research or scientist track, including, for example, lab managers, as well as graduate students and postdoctoral fellows who work and train in a variety of different science-related disciplines, either here at UAB or certainly in the community. There are 15 credit hours that make up this particular certificate. Those 9 core courses are again reflected in the 4 concentrations that I just mentioned. Possible elective courses include courses in entrepreneurship, some of those in communication that you just heard Sarah talk about, as well as those in mentoring and leadership that I know Lisa will talk about from the LEAD program that she provides. So again, happy to answer any of the questions that you might have and how this might pair with other possible certificates for a interdisciplinary master's. And I'll hand it off to whoever's next.
So the Mentoring and Leadership Certificate, this is a certificate that is designed really for students who are wanting more of a professional development experience. These courses are not offered in a graded track, so it's a pass, no pass option. So the stress of the courses tends to be a little bit less for all of those of us who are wearing multiple hats and having busy lives. There are 3 core courses for this certificate, and there's the Introduction to Mentoring and Leadership, Mentoring 101, which is a seminar, and then Leadership 101, which is a seminar. So you have that introduction course, the 719, is designed to give you an insight into the theory behind mentoring and leadership. This is a doctoral level certificate. So there is an expectation that you will dive into the theory behind mentoring and theories behind leadership. And then those seminars are more of a deep dive into each aspect of that. And they're really designed to be small, graduate level seminars, a lot of discussion, and a lot of practical information sharing and growth in that. The Mentoring and Leadership Certificate is a fabulous opportunity for those who are interested in seeking advancement to the next level, where you're intending to mentor. The focus here really is on that deep understanding of what it takes to be a mentor, as well as how to be mentored. Okay, so it's great in all of those aspects. The remaining credits from that are affiliated with the Mentor and Leadership Certificate are any of the graduate school credit hours that we have that offer. So you can take some from lab management if you're wanting to mentor within the lab. You can take something in writing. You can take something within all of these different areas, critical thinking, if that's something that you want to do. So there's a wide range of additional credits that you can take. These core are 5 required classes, and then the rest of them are electives for you within that. And Dr. Kelly Carter is the director for that program. And if you have additional questions about this program, she cannot be here tonight, but she would be happy to answer them if you just email profdev@uab.edu. Okay, so CERTL, and Sarah, I'm going to lean on you a little bit if you have additional information on this. So CERTL is the Center for the Integration of Research, Teaching, and Learning. This is an absolutely fantastic resource that we have here at UAB. And we are one of the very few of the 43 schools nationwide that offer this as a certified certificate, right? So it is on your transcript. CERTL is a network that is designed to help support individuals who are interested in learning how to teach, as well as who are interested in doing research on teaching practices. So there, again, are a variety of courses that you can take that are affiliated with this certificate. Many of them are sponsored at the national level, and so you have the cohort here at UAB that are working through the process, but you also have colleagues across the nation that are at your fingertips, and really that's camaraderie and understanding of, okay, great, now I'm an expert in chemistry, but nobody has explained to me how I'm supposed to teach this to others. Or outstanding, I had an opportunity to pick up an adjunct, a class that I'm really, really excited, something I'm really passionate about to additional individuals, but I never have been taught how to disseminate that information. And so this is a great, great resource with, again, all of us here willing to support you, but you also have a national network. As another point that's important with the CERTL is that there are 3 levels of certification within the CERTL. So if you're interested in just an introduction to teaching, then you can earn the first level of that certificate. Then there's another level, and then that final level is the level at which you are actually engaging in the research of teaching and learning. So I'm going to pause for a moment, and I see Dr. Schwiebert's head, I see Dr. Creel's head. Am I missing anything? Okay.
I would just say that CERTL is a great resource for graduate students and those who are working on their teaching. It also allows you to have the ability to create a teaching portfolio. So anything from diversity statements to your teaching philosophy. There are so many ways that CERTL can help you professionally before you get on that market, or if you've been on the market and are going back on another one. So it's just a fantastic resource. And like Dr. Kerr said, there are 3 different levels to it. So if you don't want to dedicate a ton of time to it, you can take the most basic level, or you can take the middle level, which I believe is the associate track, or you can become a CERTL practitioner, which requires the most hours. So you can customize it to your personal needs, which is pretty fantastic.
And I'll just further add that this set of skills that you learn through CERTL are very transferable to a number of different types of industries or careers. Communication and teaching happens at all levels. And so definitely the skill set that you're able to develop through the CERTL courses, as Sarah just well described, and Lisa did too, that you could well use in a number of different avenues and areas of your career.
Next. Okay, and then there's the LEAD LEAD certificate. This is another new certificate. We received approval about the same time as the lab management. It requires 4 core courses. The Leadership and Professional Development Certificate is different from the Mentoring and Leadership Certificate in that it is offered at the 500 level. So this is, again, a professional practitioner focus more, less on theory and research development. This is designed to be leadership and professional development for the individual, you, who wants to expand upon your own understanding of your leadership, as well as garner the skills needed to support leadership development in others that you are working with. So if you're interested in moving forward into a leadership role, and you have not yet had opportunities to really expand upon those skills, or you want to understand better where your strengths are, this is a good place to go towards. It is about practice. You are introduced to theory through that LEAD 500, but it's much more about practice and behaviors. LEAD 520 focuses on the ethics. 540 is team development and dynamics, something that we all know is really important. And then that capstone leadership by design goes through the design thinking process, and you again get to develop how you wish to incorporate what you've learned into your specific environment and where you're learning. In addition to these core courses, you have a variety of skill builder courses that are 1 credit hour courses that you can take to complete that. And those all hold the LEAD prefix. You do not need to be in any of these certificate programs to take most of the classes that are offered. So again, I want to repeat where we started, this box of chocolates, 1 piece at a time. If any of these feel or seem interesting to you, come and take one. And there are a few of them that have prerequisites, but most of them are open doors for you to come in and to really expand your horizons and what you're interested in. So everything from emotional intelligence to preparing for a presentation for a lay audience, basic budgetary skills. I mean, all of these things are here and done in the spirit of professional development to meet you where you are, but also provide you with an opportunity to gain some skills that you think would help benefit you in your professional development as you move forward. Let's see what I think that might be the end. Is that the end, Matt? Okay, so would you mind flipping back to the, there. Nope. Forward. Hang with us. Okay, so this is one way that you can gain more information. Then if you go forward a couple more, here we go. So here's another slide where you can get some more information on any of these programs, the application processes, or any questions that you may have. Something that I do want to reiterate, and then I'm going to pause for a couple of moments that, I don't know, maybe uncomfortable for you all, but we're going to sit in silence and give you time to ponder before we sign off. But a couple of things that I want to reiterate. These programs and these courses are designed for you. We in the professional development program in the center, and those of us throughout the graduate school, we serve from the interdisciplinary capacity for across campus. We're not affiliated with any one specific college or school. I reiterate that to say we are a place for you to come and bring your ideas, and we will see what we can do if it is not already being offered at the university. We can be your centralized point to bring those ideas, and we will see who we can tap to bring them into the fold. There are a few of my colleagues that are here with us tonight that I had 2 meetings today, and we're working on developing a new certificate, as I said before, in inclusion, diversity, equity, and advocacy. That is something new that people are asking, hey, I want this from an interdisciplinary approach. And so that's what we're trying to do, incorporate people from all across campus in a meaningful way that meets the needs of where people are right now in our current society and in your economic areas of expertise. So I'm going to stop talking for a moment, and I do want to poll. I do want to take a few moments for you to generate what is it that you're interested in learning more about. Give us some of those ideas, and if you will, if you're willing to, we'll identify who you are so that we can get back in touch with you and help connect you with those resources. So if we'll take a couple minutes, and in the chat, indicate what you're interested in, and again, any other questions that you have.
Yeah, while they do that, we do have a few questions in the chat box. Can you guys give an example of a student's portfolio?
I'm gonna, kick that off, please, Sarah.
So we actually have a really great long list of things that you can do for a research communication portfolio. And like Dr. Kerr was talking about, most of these are tailored towards your interests. So if you are interested in something like science blogging or a science communication to a lay audience online, one of your assignments can be putting together a blog. If you are interested in writing a letter to the editor, that's another one. A one that people often choose to do is a longer presentation. So a summary of your work, your research in a 10 to 15 minute presentation that I will help you sculpt and create. We can do that together. You can write an academic article. I can help you revise an academic article for publication. It's mostly just about your particular interests, and there are usually 3 main assignments that we start off with at the beginning of the semester, and then you and I would work together to edit and perfect those toward the end of the semester, so that you walk away with 3 pieces of writing or speaking that you are proud of and that you can take either into your life or the workplace, whichever you choose.
Another question in the chat box. Are most of the certificates at UAB offered online?
I can take that one. And I'm actually going to drop a link here in the chat box, because there's a really nice tool on the what we call the degree portal at uab.edu/degrees. And there's a nice filter on there where you can see online options. So it really varies from certificate to certificate, whether they are offered online or not. I think there's a pretty even split there, but this tool on the degree portal will show you not just certificates, but all offerings that have an online component.
How about IGS and PhD programs?
I'm wondering if that was a question from one of our colleagues on here. Yes, my goal is yes. It wasn't you, Mary. The hope is that perhaps one day we can get there. We're not there yet. There isn't even a proposal in process at this point, to be honest. But is that something that we would like to do ultimately in my dream world? You bet. I think that it makes sense for where we are economically. I will tell you our next step, something that we're working on, no guarantees, but something that we're working on is expanding the IGS opportunities throughout the state. So we are working on developing a way where we can connect with the certificates that are being offered at South Alabama or UAH, you know, all of those different areas, and where learners will be able to really kind of expand all the different opportunities that are out there. We're not there yet. That MOU is being drafted, and it has to go through SACS COC. So that's a process beyond our Alabama system. So we're working on that, but that would likely be the next step. And we will definitely keep you all posted on that as it comes through. If you have examples of an interdisciplinary graduate studies program that is at the PhD level that you think would be a great model to follow, please feel free to send that information to me, and I will keep that on file as we contemplate moving forward. But one step at a time here, we're kind of shaking the waters in Alabama just by doing this one. So we're excited to start there. But thank you for your interest, for sure.
So somebody already started the mentoring and leadership certificate before the lead certificate was created. Is there a way to switch so they can combine with another certificate and earn an MS?
So the mentoring and leadership certificate, as explained before, does not offer graded credits. There may be a couple of courses that you may have taken credits that may be able to apply as the up to 3 credit hours you can take within the IGS, the MS, or the MA that isn't graded. The maximum that would be 3 credit hours to transfer in. The other piece to that is there would need to be an equivalent course that it would be replacing. So just like you would articulate into any other degree plan. So I encourage you to send me an email directly, and we can go through what courses you've already completed and discuss how we might be able to articulate that process into the degree.
And perhaps we'll get a couple more questions before we're through, but as we make our way out, any closing thoughts from each of you on the panel regarding the programs and the certificates?
Can I go back to one earlier question? We talked about the portfolio for the writing certificate. I also do want to remind folks that there are opportunities for portfolios within the CERTL program as well. So again, as Dr. Creel mentioned, those are based upon your interests, but you walk out with your teaching philosophy, examples of learning outcomes that you've developed, your diversity statement. So there are a lot of different things that go into that portfolio. The certificate portfolios are designed as an opportunity for you as a professional practitioner to gather the things that are most important to you to prepare you to be successful on the job market in your next level. So the portfolio is an opportunity for you to collate those and to have an extra couple sets of eyes to help you evaluate the best way to put those together.
And Jesse, what are the deadlines? What are the important dates, things that somebody that's interested in this may need to know?
Yeah, so, and I posted some information in the chat earlier that referenced the fact that all of these programs we discussed tonight offer rolling admissions, meaning you can start fall, spring, or summer whenever you're ready. So the most relevant deadline, because it's coming up here in just a couple weeks, is the fall 20 deadline, which would be August 1st. That's a standard graduate school fall deadline. For the spring and summer semesters, the spring deadline is going to be December 1st, and summer would be May 1st. So some programs outside of what we've discussed tonight, if you're on that degree portal and you see something else that interests you, other programs may have different deadlines, but those are the graduate school deadlines we use.
Okay. Dr. Schwiebert, any final thoughts?
I just want to thank again everyone for tuning in, and to really encourage you to take advantage of these opportunities. This is such an exciting time to put together something that's unique to your interests, to your expertise, and maybe to step out of that comfort zone and try something new, and really find perhaps a really new and interesting path, and maybe a different kind of chocolate that you didn't know you liked. So just to follow that thread. But it is a great time, and I just want to thank the other panelists, including Sarah and Lisa, for all of their input and hard work on these wonderful programs and courses.
Dr. Creel, I'll ask you the same thing. Any closing thoughts?
I'll just echo both Lisa's and say that it's so easy to customize these certificates and interdisciplinary masters to things that appeal to you. I think as lifelong learners and a student that had a lot of years in school, we don't always get to take things that are of interest specifically to us. So the exciting thing to me about this is that you can tailor it in so many ways and make it your own. You can personalize it to the things that you want to do, which at the end of the day is more fun. And it's just a good way to get involved in your own professional development.
And Dr. Kerr, last words before we wind things down.
If you are looking for something of interest and it is not listed, let us know. I think that's probably, I want to reiterate, one step at a time, one piece of chocolate at a time. It is not an all or nothing process. Your learning, your priorities, your time, your way. We're not quite Burger King. We're not going to do it all your way, but we are going to work to be able to find out what it is that you need and find a way to put that together for you. Or if we don't offer it here, we will find out where it is offered, and we'll get you out there. So please keep in touch with us. Let us know what you need. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. And we look forward to seeing you in the classroom soon. Thank you for coming.
Dr. Kerr, Dr. Creel, Dr. Schwiebert, and Jesse, thank you so much for joining us. Just a heads up to our guests and attendees, a recording of tonight's webinar will be available online tomorrow. And be sure to register for upcoming webinars sponsored by the UAB National Alumni Society. Next Thursday, we'll welcome Dr. Stephanie Yates to discuss financial security, how to survive uncertain times. And then on August 4th, Brandon Wright from the UAB Career Center will join us for networking and interviewing electronically, the do's and don'ts. We'll also have a little fun on August 11th with our second UAB Trivia Night. You don't want to miss that one. You can register for all of these at alumni.uab.edu. And don't forget to check out UAB Green and Told. It's our podcast that debuted back in October that shares stories from members of the UAB community. New episodes drop every other week. Listen in on Spotify and iTunes or visit alumni.uab.edu/Green and Told. Also, interact with us on social media. We're at UAB Alumni on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Look us up on LinkedIn with UAB Alumni Career Community. If you want to reach us, you can visit us online at alumni.uab.edu or email alumni@uab.edu. Once again, thank you all so much for joining us. Good night. We hope to see you soon. And as always, go Blazers.